talk. I love my life. 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 None of we don't know where tomorrow might bring, cause the future the hours away. So me I live my life today. Me I live my life today. Yeah, so long me make me talk what I want for talk. Me have enough to say. So me I go live my life today. Me I go live my life today. So everybody else just sing it out. Me love my life. Me love my life. Me love my life. So me I live my life today. Me love my life. Me love my life. Me love my life. So me I live my life today.
Day 3 of being home. Still working on this toilet. Shitty projects. This is what happens when you leave a boat for 8 months.
So we got all the parts clean and depupified, and I had to like replace some circuits, and I replaced the diaphragm, one-way
A
valve.
little flapper. Alright. Truth will tell. Oh, it sounds better already. So we got it all back together, right? And the diaphragm pump is working better than ever. There was still some mysterious water leaking all over the floor every once in a while. We couldn't really quite figure it out. Right there is a little rubber seal. And that's where the water was leaking from. It's a little
Poopy.
poopy and a little crispy. It's definitely a little cracky. So this should do it.
Knock on wood.
So this boat had a Levac popular toilet. When we got back, it wasn't working great. So we fixed a couple things. We bought some new seals for it. Took the whole thing apart and cleaned it all. And then the bottom cracked and it started leaking water. And I just can't. I went online and I looked, and we really need a new toilet seat itself because it's all stained and it looks ugly. And that's like $200 and something for like the seat and the lid. We needed a new base for it because the base was cracked. That was what was causing the leak. And the base is like $200. So we realized, like, with what we've bought, plus buying a new base and a new toilet seat and whatever, we were gonna spend well over $600 and something. So we decided to just buy the Jabsco electric toilet that we had on our other boat. We ordered one of those up the other day and it's here now. Nestor is taking out the old toilet and we're gonna put the new toilet in. Old toilet is out and everything's been cleaned up. And now we're just trying to figure out plumbing this toilet in. Alright, so the boat gets crazy whenever we're doing a project. Nestor is tightening down the bolts on the base.
We are in the final stages. We already plumbed the toilet, the out and the in of salt water, the electric, so it's working already.
Look at this. Toilet is in. Little push button switch. So exciting. Pretty much the quick head installation. Now there's no more leaky poop water. I'm so happy. I've been cleaning up like very suspicious water for a few days. Not my cup of tea. So I'm pretty stoked that this floor is dry and clean. And there's a beautiful new toilet in here. And life is back to normal. All right. This is it. Oh my goodness. Look at this.
Holy crap.
Ooh.
How do you feel, Annabelle?
I'm so excited. It's so beautiful and our stove works but it has a lot of little ticks to it. Like,
yeah, like the thermostats are kind of finicky.
Yeah, you'll be baking and the flame will go out, or the flame won't want to stay on one of the burners, and you'll have to like stick a knife in to hold it in. And you know, we've figured it out because we've had it for 8 years, and we get her, but she doesn't have an electric start. I'm pretty thrilled that I'm gonna be able to like turn a knob and push a button, and my oven is gonna turn on, and I'm not gonna burn myself. Look at this burn I have from like dealing with oven the other week. I'm so excited. Let's get this thing on my butt. Here she goes. And hopefully we're gonna just put her in place. But things don't usually go that smoothly for us, so let's see. Got it.
Yeah, baby!
Oh my god, it's so exciting. Look at that gimbal.
So we were like a little skeptical, because the owners of this boat before were French Canadian, and they were like super European, and we might thought that it was the European one that fit there.
But the only one we could order was the American.
The American Compact.
And it fits! Yay! Alright, now we gotta connect the gas. Alright, here we go.
Woo! We got flame, baby! Oh my God.
And what I really like about this one is that on our old stove, the big burner, which tends to be the burner that I use the most for sauteing and stuff, is in the back in our old stove, and then the two little ones are in the front. So the pot that you're like sauteing stuff with oftentimes is kind of in an inconvenient place. On this stove, they obviously realized that it made more sense for the big one to be in the front. So that's really cool. And then let's check out this oven. There's a lock on the door, which ours never had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. We gotta just install the gimbal lock here. So this, we need a little block of wood that goes into. All right, problem number 2. Home from 8 months away from the boat. Looks like Nestor figured it out. What's going on, sir?
Just a little wire broke here from the ignition. It was not supplying power to the panel.
So none of the instruments were working?
Yeah, and it's frustrating not to see your oil pressure and the temp and all that.
So we just pulled it out.
And this was broken.
And where does that connect to usually?
It connects to the ignition right here, the ignition switch.
There, and it's broken off. All right, so that's easy enough. Rewire that.
Boom!
Nestor says he thinks we may have earned a spearfish with 2 days of toilet work and now fixing the instrument panel for the engine. Let's see. Woo!
Taste the rainbow. Sailboat living is the best living. It's hard, but look at this beauty.
Oh, right.
Look at this beauty. We go for a spearfish.
and we need a brine discharge, and we need electric, and in these two lockers we have the batteries right under here, electric panel right here next to it. There's also the water tanks right next to it, are right under the floor here. The nearest through holes, I guess, are right back here.
I don't want to carry any more jugs of water. I'm over it.
For those of you who don't have a Watermaker, it is it's like a little mini desalinization plant, basically. It sucks up seawater and filters it through a membrane and takes all the minerals and all the salt and all of that stuff out of it and creates fresh drinkable water. We have luckily always had one on Ventana. When we bought it, she had like one of the best Watermakers on the market in there. And being without it and just having the rain catchment system on this boat has been a real eye-opener as to how lucky we were to have that all these years. And the Watermaker, you flip a switch and it makes, I think it's rated at 15 gallons an hour, but I'd say it makes somewhere closer to like 10 to 12 gallons, depending on obviously your battery charge. Just gonna have to kind of get it and see where it fits. And we're rebels. We're not gonna take any measurements. We're not gonna see if it maybe will fit. We're just gonna break it all down and bring it over here and find a place it fits in. That's our plan. And we're just going for it. All right, we've got both pumps out. Yeah. And the membrane and the pressure tank. And Nestor is over there. I think just taking out the last power switches and stuff. So that's it. That is the empty locker.
We are mocking up where the brackets that hold the pump, the feed pumps, and the filter for the Watermaker. In this starboard, half-inch starboard plate that I made, that I'm gonna glue down to the hull of the boat to have somewhere to attach this tightly.
So yeah, Nestor cleaned them all up and painted them yesterday.
We got some T-nuts. So we're gonna stick this piece of starboard to the hull of the boat with 5200 to mount the pumps. I wanted a way to bolt it down with bolts and a nut, not with a screw, because there's a lot of vibration and stuff. These T-nuts, they kind of like dig in and they don't let spin, but we wanted it to be flush, so we grab a Forstner bit and we countersunk it a little bit so it goes in like that, so the finished product is like that.
So now we're just measuring when we tighten this bracket on to this backing plates that the bolts are the right length and they don't stick out the back. So we are gonna tighten down a bracket and then we're gonna cut the bolts to the correct length. Dock part of the project is done. And now we head back to the boat. We're gonna glue this backing plate into its place in the locker and call it a day. It's a beautiful afternoon here in the bay.
Well, we're gonna try and glue our mounting bracket for the feed pumps into the hull and really grind it out a little bit, cleaned it out with some solvent. Now we have some 5200 and we're gonna start gluing it. Now I spread it a little bit, just to have a nice even coat, and we try and fill the divots. And we're probably gonna have to put more, but if you guys have never done anything with 5200, you have to kind of be like very careful.
This will basically create like a big rubber gasket behind that mounting plate, which we're hoping cuts down on the vibration. All right, this is one of the tricks of the trade.
Double glove.
Especially when dealing with 5200.
Oh yeah.
Alright, and she goes.
And then we'll put this like that. Okay.
This is Nestor's genius idea for how to keep it kind of clamped down while it dries. Nestor is going to put that center brace
Back on.
and then I'm gonna paint this whole side of the locker white. Alright, so we've got the locker all painted. Looks beautiful. This side's got like some vinyl in the bottom of it. I'd like to make some pretty shit for my boat. Nice face.
Yeah.
First part of the install is the Clark pump and membrane bracket we're gonna put in. Things are coming along here.
It looks like a bomb exploded inside this
Christopher
boat.
Robin. This place is a pretty huge mess, but Nestor's got these all plumbed up. We're just gonna finish a couple more hoses we have to run. And in here we have the Clark pump and the membrane all installed. Anyone living on a boat, I highly suggest you get one of these little side screw things. We have it attached to a screwdriver right now, and
Yeah, there's two different kinds. This one's for like a screwdriver for impact.
right,
Let's drill, but it works by hand too in hard spots.
amazing.
It's so handy.
We would not have been able to install all this stuff without it. So highly recommend getting one of those. You can use it on your drill, you can use it on a screwdriver. Pretty awesome. How do you feel today, Nestor?
Feeling good. Feeling tired. Overwhelmed.
Yeah. Boat projects are a lot. And especially in distant tropical locations. It's not like we can just go to the store and buy some stainless bolts or plastic washers. It's all kind of
Everything takes
a scavenger hunt of sorts.
everything. So we're back at the Watermaker closet again.
How
the
many
locker.
days has this been?
This is like day 7 now or something.
Yeah.
I had to go to the main island yesterday to go to a couple of chandleries to look for valves and elbows and all kinds of crazy stuff. So
We thought that we would have everything because the Watermaker was installed and working on our other boat, but you know, when you change boats, there's different through holes and hoses and a whole different setup. So it's been quite the process and probably cost us like, I don't know, $600 or $700 in little bits and pieces and hoses and things like that. I think we've got a plan.
knock on that
I'm
one.
not saying that we have everything we need, because you never know if you have everything you need. But I think we have a plan as to how we're gonna hook it all up, and we're almost there. The through hole for the the saltwater intake is behind that little door back there.
Yeah, you'll see it.
So it runs here along the floor and into the head to the toilet. So we're gonna tap into it here, and we're going to put a T.
And then a bench.
And on the left side of the T, we're gonna put a one-way valve so that the only water that the Watermaker can pull will be from the right side, which is from the water strainer and the raw water intake.
And not from the
never
toilet.
from the toilet side. And that if the vented loop breaks in the toilet side, none of that water ever comes back past here. That way we're not contaminating any of the water that would be going into the Watermaker. That's kind of our extra check. Even though, because of the vented loop and everything, we don't really think that's even a possibility. But we just want to be like extra safe, because that would be disgusting. And then Nestor's got some wiring and stuff that has to get done. In like the normal world, I would say maybe we would have a Watermaker running this afternoon. But this is Annabelle and Nestor's boat world. And so it could be another week. You never know. We're just hoping at this point that the membrane is still good by the time we get everything all hooked back up. We'll see what happens with that. We have a parts per million tester, so we'll be able to see if the Watermaker water is drinkable or not. Yeah, I think that's it. We're gonna get to work here. We've had our coffee and our breakfast, and Nestor's raring to go.
Everything is good. Just crimping some connectors to the breakers and the feet wire that go to a bus bar.
This is kind of the last step, right? Wiring it up.
Good morning, and the good note, the Watermaker is making water! After who knows how many days of work, it's finally doing some decent amount of water. I think it's working better than ever. It's doing around 15.
But I noticed while we've been like doing this whole install that our water tanks had a little bit of grunge on the sides of them. Luckily they're really well designed, so they have big portholes in the top, 3 of them. So I started in the first one, a little bit of grime on the sides, not so bad. Second one, a little drier, not as clean. The third one just straight up has like disgusting mud. I'm pretty sure it's from all the Sahara dust we've been getting, and we collect rainwater off the decks, so the Sahara dust is on the decks and in the rainwater, then it goes into our tanks, then we empty our tanks and all that nasty stuff stays in the bottom. So my project for this morning, I haven't even had breakfast yet, is cleaning the mud out of the tanks before we start drinking any water out of there. Look at that beautiful shiny tank. Nice and clean. We carry 40 gallons in this big tank here. It has 2 break walls within it and 3 big ports, so you can clean it out, which is really, really nice. It was just so easy to just scrub everything, top, bottom, sides. Not a place in there you can't get. We emptied all the water out of it, soaked up every last bit, wiped up every little crumb of anything that was in there, and now Nestor's gonna turn on the water. Water's coming in. Stoked about that. That project's done for today. Watermaker install. I think we did it. What do you think, Nestor?
Good job after, I don't know how many days.
I think it's been about 8 days. Something like that.
Just believe me know life not easy. Enough we never born with gold spoon for feed with. No be greedy, set a pace in a life and achieve it. Listen to me keenly. Love me L-I-F-E until it left me. Me a go and keep happy and I pray to Father God say old age catch me. Me a beg your Father bless me, guide and protect me. For every wrong move when me making on the streets correct me. None of we don't know where tomorrow might bring, cause the future the hours away. So me I live my life today. Me I live my life today. Yeah, so long me make me talk what I want to talk. Me have enough to say. So me I go live my life today. Me I go live my life today. So everybody else just sing it out.